This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
Hello, and this is SwagDean again with Dice Commando, and today we are going to be kind of playing around in the space of the Smash Duos concept I pitched in a prior video. For those who didn't catch it, the idea is to expand the pool of Smash characters from the FFG era by creating a dual character card, where you would get one die from two different characters. The one I'm showing off here today, it would be Forlom and Zuckuss. So these are two characters that, like, in theory are smashable. They were 15 points or less. But this concept will allow us, I am experimenting with big character, little characters. You have one big die, one little die, things like that. But just kind of wanted to break down one of them, just in case anybody wanted to build one that I'm currently testing, or see some more of the strategy behind how I usually go about building Smash decks. So this is my first pass on these. So, this is not necessarily what it's going to be officially, if we even do an official release to see if this whole concept works. But some of these middle types, like Forlom and Zuckuss, I'm pretty confident in working, because they are in the same power level kind of to start with. The question is going to be the bigs and littles, if it feels good, like if mitigation, removing the big die, just makes them awful. Things like that is kind of up in the air, kind of testing that out. So, but let's get into Forlom and Zuckuss. So what I've done is I gave them, basically Forlom's health, so you get 12 health for this dual character. You get one die for Forlom, one for Zuckuss, and I'm giving them the Forlom ability with the bounties. When they're discarded from play, you get to bring it to your hand. And of course, you still have the Zuckuss special, where you can resolve a bounties after defeated ability and then discard it. So with the two of them together, you can loop them, which is something you could do back in the day if you combine them together. And they often, because Zuckuss was 13, Forlom was 15, you'd often have room for a plot. So I'm testing making this a 13-point character and giving them any means necessary. The reason I'm doing that is because if you're looking at any means necessary, the real crazy value is when you get 3 bounties on them. And in Smash, that is a lot harder to do. For one, I only give you 4. And unless you draw another bounty hunter as your Smash pairing, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to get bounty board out, and then have some rounds where you pull from, or you just get lucky with your starting hand. But if you draw a bunch of bounties and play them, you're not playing mitigation necessarily, and may not be playing upgrades. So, like, it's possible, but it is not super likely that you're going to get like the super value on any means necessary very consistently in Smash. If this deck is overperforming, we did have some people testing this at Gen Con, and that game went very well in their favor. And if that kind of testing keeps playing out, then the easiest thing for me to do is be like, okay, well, this is now 15-point pairing, and we're going to rip the plot from them. But for right now, I wanted to test having the plot. This is the only plot, I believe, that I put in, and think about it for a second. I think it's the only plot I gave out in this duo thing. So, I started looking for ways to spice things up. With Forlom and Zuckuss, like I said, they were, in theory, smashable, but individually, I just didn't feel like they were going to be that unique in the format, with just like more yellow bounty hunters. But when you have the two of them, you have a unique kind of deck build of getting bounties out, potentially looping them, ramping, making things happen. So I gave them both Bounty Hunters Guild, so that you could, in theory, play a bunch of downgrades and a little bit of action cheating. The bounty board lets them pull for those, so you can at least get a little bit of that action. I mean, you still only have one special, so like the whole looping effect is still tough to pull off because you only have one die to get the special on. You have to still roll it and have bounties in play, stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of setup to this, which is why I'm trying to give them a little extra love in the design. So, Jabba's Palace, very logical battlefield. Why wouldn't you? You can spot Bounty Hunter, and there's a little bit of a choke element, and that's kind of built into the characters. You look at Forlom, he's got 2 disrupt sides, Zuckuss has a disrupt side, and so there is an element of that. I gave them Exploit as a mitigation card, going into the fact that like you can be disrupting them and you can punish them with that. So I do like that element of like there's a little bit of choke in this deck, there's a little bit of looping. Downgrades, that's kind of fun. And then any means necessary, you can turn any of these, you can turn Disrupt if they don't have any resources. Boom. You can remove that die and deal an unblockable. So that Disrupt, if you don't need it, can become a damage. Because they have some good synergies potentially going, I played around a little bit with their dice cards. So Mist Hunter is the one that would stay and play. So this one is fun because you can spot Forlom and you can spot Zuckuss, so it's really good value. And because of some of the built-in synergy, this is the only die that stays in play that you can get from them. So Skilled Tracker, great card, built-in mitigation, and in Smash that is definitely a thing, but doesn't deal damage. Flame Projector definitely brings some damage. And can do some neat tricks. And like I said, with Smash, you are trying to help your synergies with other characters. So if you get a melee pairing, Flame Projector helps with your melee partner. But Gauntlet Rockets helps with your guns. And obviously we have guns in this deck already, but this can help with your ranged partners. Although this one restricted to Bounty Hunter only. But it's a great upgrade, and this is their big expensive one. In this deck, where you can get a little bit of dice fixing if you've got your bounties out. So bounties. That is the theory of the deck. For the downgrades, gave them Wanted. Just get some good ramp. Same with Dead or Alive. Ramp. Enticing Reward. Boom. You can play equipment or weapon from your discard pile. So if if one of these got discarded or something from one of your partners, Enticing Reward can make that happen. And then we have Deathmark, just getting more into your deck, getting the things you need. Prey Upon, choose a character that has a downgrade on it. You can move one of their dice, so it's a very logical mitigation card. Got a couple good mitigations. I mentioned Exploit. And then Paid Off, give an opponent 2 of your resources to resolve one of their character upgrade dice as if it was your own. So it's not just mitigation, but it is potentially damage or whatever the side is that you have. Good bit of trickery when you got yellow, and especially yellow villain. You got to get up some trickery. And speaking of that, we have Cunning Ruse, where you can roll a character die and then deal damage to them equal to the value showing, and hunt them down, where you can buff up something by the number of bounty downgrades on that character. So I think we have a good base of what is the strategy of this deck. It's to play bounties. It's to reward you for having bounties, because you can flip the better sides in Gauntlet Rockets. You can play Prey Upon. You can hunt them down for more, stuff like that. So it's got a little bit of mitigation, with these cards and Skilled Tracker. But you can also just go like, my best mitigation is just killing characters first, and then ramping up to help build the board state and kill off the next character, and keep things rolling that way. So this is one, like I said, this build here, if people want to build it and test it themselves, add this to their Smash collection, at least their tabletop style. If you do, send me any of your thoughts as you play with it. But this is something I'm testing, and this is one I enjoy. I really like the feel of this deck. It does feel different than the other bounty hunter decks. If you were to compare this to your Bobas and Jangos and things like that, they had downgrades just for, a value engine, things like that, but they weren't as core to the deck philosophy. So like I said, even though we have 52 FFG Smash decks at the moment, it's still nice that we can come up with decks that can still feel unique amongst that large pool of decks. And I think Forlom and Zuckuss would be a good addition to that if it does bear out that way through testing. So like I said, I just wanted to share a little behind the scenes. I may do some more of these, or maybe I can get someone on with me in TTS and show a game with some of these, and get you guys some more Destiny Friday content. If you have any questions or comments, please feel to let us know. And as always, go Commando.